Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Breathe Motivation. It is Tuesday. This is episode 110. Man, it's going fast this week, so I hope you guys are having a great week. Of course, right? Of course we are, because we have the option to be able to form our week in our mind and find success no matter what, right? It's all about perspective. So we've got to go out, find perspective, and be the best we can be this week. So I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday so far. My name is Anthony Hester. I'm the host and founder of Breathe Motivation. So yesterday we talked about being selfish and understanding that it is okay to be a little bit selfish, right? In order for us to find a balance within our life, we've really got to be able to understand that it's okay to say no. It's okay to understand that people are probably going to get upset if they are so used to you always handing out things or handing out your time, your energy, and your knowledge and all of that stuff, and you tend to hold it back, right? But it's okay as long as you are really focused on, you've got to be focused on your happiness. You've got to be focused on your energy and what you get as well. So it's important for that. So today we're going to talk about limits, right? So limits. It's important for us to not set a limit for ourselves, right? Many times we set limits for ourselves and can only get so far. So let me give you the definition of the limit, and we'll go from there. So limit is a point or level beyond which something does not or may not extend or pass. So it's interesting to see how many times we hold ourselves back in life. When we're growing up, I look at, just kind of your example in life, right? Or your example in work, or your example of whoever you're around, right? I think sometimes before we're even, at a good age to even understand some things, I think sometimes the limits that are set are, set by people that are in your everyday life. So I was having a good conversation with some friends, and, I look at our life and, I look at other people's lives and understand that, what are my limits and what is within my control. And I think sometimes when we look at, I was looking at, starting a business, right? Nobody that I really know of, or, I know people that have started business, but no one in my direct circle, like my parents had started their own business. No, I hadn't seen it. I know my grandpa had a business, but I wasn't really around him very often. I know some people in my life that have had businesses, like my great uncle Jay. He has a real estate business and all that stuff. But, a lot of the times when you're looking at your life, right, a lot of the times your limits are set by, your parents, or set by, your immediate family or friends around you, right? Because I think sometimes we get so focused on, seeing the, external people of our lives, right? Our parents kind of set the example of what our life is going to be, or that's what we're told, right? We're told that, you're kind of a product of your environment. I mean, it's totally weird to think that. And it's weird that we set these limits to our mind, or people set these limits for us at such a young age. When we think about circumstances, people tell you, oh, well, hey, you're surrounded by people that, aren't the greatest. Your parents, they, worked as hard as they could, and they're working their butts off. And, that's all you're going to do is you're going to wake up, you're going to go to work, or you're going to go to school. And, after you go to school, you're going to get a job, and you're going to work that job for the rest of your life, and until you retire, right? Everybody kind of puts limits on us. When you think about school, or you think about college, or, even just growing up, so elementary school, you're going through there, we go through the school process, and, we're taught that, it's, we're not really taught a lot of things like, entrepreneurship or anything like that. We're taught about history and science and all these things that, for me, in my opinion, I don't think that we really use very often. And it's the same thing when I'm in college. There's a lot of stuff that I'm probably learning that I am never going to use in everyday life. And I think it's, it kind of limits us to thinking, well, I guess this is it. I guess this is what life is going to be. So your example of your parents, my parents, they work different jobs, and I guess that was the example that I'm going to find a job, and I'm going to be in this job, and I should be in this job for a long time, and I should stay in a steady job instead, and just try to grow or move up from there. But it's interesting to see, because I've worked for some companies where, and even seeing my wife, she's gotten laid off before. I've seen layoffs in my current job. So why would you limit yourself to a company that is going to eventually potentially lay you off, right? Why would for me, when I look at, being an entrepreneur, I want to be able to get out and, run my own business. I want to be able to, do what I want, right? I want to be able to have these, I don't want to have to be told I need to wake up at a certain time. I'm going to work 8 to 5, and, I'm going to make a bunch of money for another company or for a company. And, eventually that's my life, right? I work my butt off for this company, and, the return I get, I guess I get to retire at 65 and then live a good couple of years if I make it that far and go from there, right? It's interesting to see the limits that are placed on us. And what I want you guys to understand is that you guys have to challenge your limits. If you guys want to do something, you guys can do anything that you put your mind to, but we've got to be able to be open to that mindset. And a lot of times it was interesting. I was talking to my wife's cousin. He was working on my website, and he's doing a business with his wife. And I was like, was it a scary process in starting your own business? Because I think sometimes as an entrepreneur, we're kind of like, man, what's going to happen? Because it's kind of like nobody, I mean, great things can happen, but a lot of times there's a lot of different unexpected things you run into, expenses and things that you would never think of. But, he was like, I think it all kind of depends on, it's not really scary. I'm more excited about the opportunities that lie within this with me having this business. Now, it can get a little bit tight, and you're going to have to save some money, or you're going to have to figure out ways to continue to make business happen. But in the end, what you put in your mind is what's going to happen. So if you're so focused on, oh, hey, I might make it happen, I might not make it happen, of course, more people than not are going to fail, right? If you have that mindset and you limit your thinking and your abilities in your mind to not be able to chase your dream, of course it's going to be tough to do that. So what I challenge you guys to do, I challenge you guys to, just change your thinking. Not everybody's going to run their own business, right? Not everybody wants to do that. So if you want to be within a company, find a company that's great in what you want to do, and, really get excited about what you're passionate about, or start doing things that are going to help you get better. So if you want to go to school and you haven't, and you think that's going to be better, then do that. But stop limiting yourself to just what you have seen growing up. What I say is, break the cycle of, of this life of what you were supposed to live because this is what your grandfather did, or your parents did, or, whatever that looks like, right? If your your dad was a doctor, now you're supposed to be a doctor. No, don't limit yourself to what somebody else wants for you. You've got to create this ability to overcome. And you can overcome and create whatever you want out of life. You just have to be able to understand you can do it and have a belief within yourself that you will win no matter what. That's what I tell myself all the time. I have a job currently, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to limit myself to this, because this is an opportunity for me to learn, right? I go into each position and each job that I go into, hey, I want to learn something different. And what I learn is going to help me progress to the bigger picture of eventually getting out and running my own dream. Because at that point, right now I'm in the process of doing both. So my business isn't as prosperous as I want to, where I can, kind of quit, but I'm growing, right? Each and every day I'm growing, and it's getting better. So I'm not going to limit myself to saying, oh, well, this is going to take forever, right? But I'm going to bust my butt every day. I'm going to bust my butt in my job so that I have a great understanding that, I'm not just sitting there taking up space. But at the same time, when I get home, I've got to work hard, and I've got to be able to progress here, right? I've got to be able to reach out to clients. I've got to be able to find more business to be able to generate more so that I can be better, right? So I look at this, and, it's kind of the, the glass ceiling or whatnot, what take an effect. It's interesting. Let's just close your eyes and let me paint this picture for you. So let's just say we have these big jumping bugs, right? Or, flies or something that jumps, right? So we have a glass, and we're going to put these things in there that can jump, right? So think about it. If we were to leave that glass open, right, and they can jump high enough to get out, guess what? People can, they can jump out, right? Things are going to be, these things or these bugs are going to be able to jump out. Now think about this. If we were to put some plastic over there, how far could that bug go, right? Not very far. They can't get out of the plastic, right? So it's interesting, so think about that. If we cover this thing up, these bugs can only jump as high as that plastic will allow them to go. Now, let's imagine that we take off this cover. So we left that on there for a couple weeks. They're doing their thing. they're trying to jump out, and then eventually they're going to start to, just kind of jump and not jump any further. So now I remove this piece of plastic, and now these bugs can jump as far as they can go, right? Again, right? You would think that would be possible, but these bugs have only learned to jump as far as that plastic. So no longer are they jumping out of this container. They're jumping as far as this plastic, and they're free to go, but they can't because they have limited that mindset, because that plastic has limited their mindset of getting out. And that's what we do as people, is we limit our beliefs, we limit our mindset, and we're very much like those bugs. From a young age, I always thought that I was going to be able to jump so high and keep going. But, people in my life had told me, oh, well, you can only accomplish this, or, oh, you can only accomplish this. And for a while I listened, right? I would listen to them and say, oh, I guess they're right. I can only do this. I mean, this is my example and this is what I see. But at some point I woke up and I said, you know what? No, I can do whatever the hell I want. And I think you guys are in that same stage too. So when you get to that point, don't stop. Don't stop because somebody tells you can't do something, right? Don't let somebody else's fears overcome and create your fears for you. You've got to be willing to take chances. You've got to be willing to take opportunities and go after them. Don't ever let anybody put that piece of plastic over you, right? Don't ever allow somebody to tell you how high you can jump, because it's not possible. Anything is possible for you to get done if you want to. If you want something bad enough, you can go out there and get it. Stop limiting your mindset. Stop allowing others to, limit their mindset. Like I said, the people that want to limit your mindset are people that you should probably get rid of in your life, or not spend as much time with them, because I know sometimes family will tell you, hey, you can do this or you can't do this, right? So understand who these people are and ignore the noise, right? Ignore those people. Break the cycle of what you've always seen. Break the cycle in the example of these people that, weren't able to, they have told you not to do this or you can't do this, right? You're fully capable of doing whatever you want to. Stop limiting yourself. Go after your beliefs, go after your dreams, and make it happen. So let me leave you with this quote: you are confined only by the walls you build yourself. So don't allow yourself to, listen to these people that tell you can't do something. You're ultimately responsible if you allow people to bring you down, right? You're in control of that. So don't allow other people to control that. So I'm so excited. Tomorrow we've got an interview with Dr. Baker. She's got a podcast, Go Friend Yourself. She is a psychologist. I'm so excited to have her on here tomorrow. I know you guys are going to have a great time and get some value from this. I think you guys will understand, her whole principle behind this is for you to be your own best friend. And I think that's important for us to all understand as we go through this journey of life, is that we are fully capable of being our best friend and getting ahead. So I'm excited to have her on tomorrow. So that will be great. So check out our website, breathemotivation.com. Please share this podcast with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever you think would value from this. And as always, remember to breathe motivation and exhale success. I will see you tomorrow on Wednesday for our interview with Dr. Baker. Thanks.